my god, that was a gift to the lesbians. This episode left me gay, it left me shaking, it left me choking, it left me even gayer, it left me a lesbian, it left me a homosexual. Where do I even begin? There is just so much to unpack in this episode. So much to unpack. There's, oh my god, so much to unpack. I truly believe that this episode was the best episode yet. I mean, oh my god, it was like 10 lesbian movies crammed into one episode. When did Mon become so experienced? Okay, homegirl's been doing her homework. The homework is Sam. Not only does Freen owe me child support, now Becky also owes me child support. How am I gonna feed all of these children that they gave to me? Oh my god. Okay, so let's get into episode 9. I have my gay notes. Let's go. So the episode essentially starts with Mon being in her Bella when Edward left her in New Moon phase. Girl is depressed, doesn't want to get out of bed, it's a whole mood. But even though she's heartbroken and depressed, her hair still looks incredible. How is it when I'm heartbroken and depressed, I look like a scarecrow, but when Mon is heartbroken and depressed, she looks like a supermodel? Okay. Kirk finally comes clean to Sam, which, you know, about time. It's caused a lot of problems. Oh, that man, he causes a lot of problems. He does. But you can tell Sam is just like over it. I mean, she does literally break up with Kirk this episode, but yeah, she's over it. She's over it. So Sam goes to visit Mon and make amends, as she should. This was the right thing to do, you know. And she's sitting in Mon's house, getting really soft over Mon's like childhood photos, and I really love this scene. One of the reasons that I love this episode so much is it's full of so many like touching moments, particularly between Sam and Mon's mum. You can tell that Sam really needs like a maternal figure in her life because, you know, her relationship with her grandmother is broken, and you can kind of see that she's almost like reaching out to Mon's mum in that way, and there's just such a kind of like bond between them in this scene, and I found it really touching. Like, Mon's mum always comes through with like the wise words and the deep chats, and that's something that Sam needs in her life. You know, she's really been lacking that, and I was really touched by it. So Mon finally like emerges from her bedroom, but she doesn't really want to speak to Sam, which, you know, she's hurt. But after some very like wise words from her stepdad, she finally goes to talk to Sam. And again, I just really love the scene between Mon and her stepdad because it was just so meaningful. It was so meaningful. Like, I really loved the writing in episode 9. I thought it was very thought-provoking. And again, that's just why I love this episode. There's a lot of like deep and meaningful moments in it. It was emotional. So Sam tries to apologize to Mon, and it did make me laugh that she was like trying to reframe the way that she had like insulted Mon. She was like, well, I did say that, but you know, you didn't let me finish, and I meant it in a positive way. I'm pretty sure that was some form of gaslighting, but okay. But in Sam's defense, she does then like get down on her knees and then also finally apologizes like an adult. And I love the way that she was just totally open and vulnerable with Mon. I found this scene really like emotionally raw, and I love the way that Sam was like so open and honest with Mon, you know? Like, we definitely saw a more kind of like vulnerable side to Sam in this episode, and it made me really soft, especially when she said to Mon like, it's our home, you know? That made me soft. So Sam takes Mon back home to a beautiful candlelit dinner, and this scene made me laugh because Mon's like, did you do all this for me? And Sam's like, no girl, I'm rich, my maid did it, you know? And Mon is like, oh yeah, you're loaded. Okay. Two very different worlds, eh? Sam has like an obsession with candles. She has an obsession with candles. She very much gives off like vampire vibes. This scene is also really cute because Sam gifts Mon a bracelet that Mon pointed out like a few episodes ago. And I think initially Sam was like turning her nose up at these bracelets, but she remembered that Mon like liked them, and she went back and she got them matching ones. It was really thoughtful. It just shows some kind of like growth and character development, and it was just soft and I liked it. And then the whiskey comes out. Oh, the whiskey comes out. Oh yes. Oh yes. We all know what that means. We all know what that means. Okay. The whiskey gives Mon courage to enter her dom era. Okay. She's talking about Sam getting punished. She pushes Sam in the pool. She is just giving dom vibes, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The kiss in the swimming pool is like one of their hottest kisses for sure. I mean, I was like, I think I stopped breathing halfway through watching that scene. I was just like, okay, I'm ovulating. And then it gets even better. It gets even better because Sam took Mon back home for dinner, and then Mon had Sam for dinner. Poetic cinema. They just threw the PG-13 rating out of the window in this episode. I was like, God damn, like I was not expecting it and it did, and I am a lesbian. And then they're just back to being like soft and angelic again afterwards. It goes from like peppery to sunshine very, very quickly, and it's really cute. I love their soft moments. I love their soft moments together. The post smash smiles. It's really cute. It's really cute. Then we're introduced to Nita, who, god damn, I mean, who is she? Who is she? I mean, she's Nita, but who is she? Lady in red. Oh my god, stunning, stunning. The way that they've kind of like introduced Nita and set her up, you can tell that she's going to be like a problem for Mon and Sam in the future. I mean, she takes a mental note of like their matching bracelets, and the woman's on it. You know, the woman's on it. She's cold-blooded, clearly a lesbian. I have to stan. I have to stan. Anyway, this meeting kind of exposes Kirk as the mole, and rightly so. Sam's like furious, and this leads to her like finally like breaking everything off with him, and you can tell that like Kirk has actually caught feelings for her, but she is over it. Like, she is over it. And as a result, she ends up like exposing Mon as her lover, which Kirk does not take well. And again, you can like see that this is going to cause problems very, very soon for Sam and Mon, particularly with her grandmother, but we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. If this wasn't enough drama, Sam then walks in on her employees like getting it on, but considering what she's been up to, her reaction's a bit just like, just okay, bye. And then she talks it out with Mon, and Mon's like, okay, maybe I should leave this job because, you know, I don't want people to think badly of you, and, you know, I don't want you to look like a hypocrite, basically. But Sam is in like her simp era, and she's just like, look, you're the only reason I actually come to this job anymore, so please don't leave. Sam's got it bad, girl. She's got it bad. This is what happens when the V is like amazing. You're just like, I don't wanna live unless you're in my life, you know? Then they smash in the office, but one of the employees like overhears, and this kind of sets Mon thinking about what would happen if their relationship really got out, and she's really thinking of like what people would think of Lady Sam. And this is kind of continued when Sam tries to like hold her hand in public, and Mon's like a little bit funny about it, but Sam makes it clear that she really just doesn't give a fuck, you know? She's like, you're my lover and I don't give a fuck what people think about that. We stan Lady Sam. We do. Well, I do. I got it bad. I got it bad. I think they addressed homophobia in a really kind of thoughtful and intelligent way in this episode. And it's really interesting to watch because from a Western perspective, those kinds of conversations don't come up as often in Western lesbian media so much nowadays. But of course, because things like same-sex marriage is not legal in Thailand, and there are still aspects of certain cultures which are traditional, you know, it still very much is a conversation that needs to be had. And it's really interesting to see it, to listen to it, you know, to listen to those conversations, particularly within the context of another culture, you know. And this is one of the reasons why this web series is just so important, you know, because it gets the message across. It gets the message across in a way that I never could. So yeah, thank you Gap. Thank you, Gap. So anyway, Sam and Mon go on a trip to kind of like get away from everything, and I was just enjoying the visuals so much. As I said, this episode very much felt like 10 lesbian movies kind of like compacted into one episode. It was everything. Wow. So they go to this resort, and the resort is owned by a lesbian couple. I was just like, oh my gosh. The L word found bold and shaking in a ditch. This show is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, this show, oh my gosh, it's great. It's, oh my God, I love it. I loved Cher's vibes. I loved her look. I loved her energy. Cher meeting Sam reminds me of when like Helena met Bet in the L word. It's very much like a clash of like alpha lesbian energy. It's like, oh my gosh, I was into it. And again, like the visuals in this episode, they have such like a romantic scene with each other on the beach, and it's just really gorgeous to kind of like watch those moments of happiness and peace between them. It was just, again, the visuals, poetic cinema. Oh my God. So the end of this episode, where do I even begin? Cher tells Mon and Sam that she's married to her partner, and she's very vocal. You know, she's very, very vocal about like gay and lesbian rights in this scene. You know, they talk about same-sex marriage and how it's not legal in Thailand. They discuss kind of like the older generations and what they may think of like same-sex relationships and same-sex marriage. And even though Cher is quite blunt and pretty rude to Sam, let's be real, she's pretty rude to Sam, but like she has a point about like the fear of what other people think keeping you kind of like trapped in unhappiness. I feel like the overarching message in this episode was like, you can't let what other people think about you dictate your life. And she's obviously completely correct, and it's easier said than done, like, let's be real, because again, you have to take into like the considerations of like certain cultures and how they have like respect for their elders, and therefore what their elders think probably does matter to them. But at the same time, there is also a conversation about people's own happiness coming first, you know, and also the ideas that older generations have can still be harmful. You know, they can still be toxic, and nothing's going to change unless like we have those conversations. Okay, so my honest thoughts on Lady Sam asking Mon if she would like to be married to her. Okay, I feel like she asked Mon this question because she's in some kind of like alpha lesbian energy competition with Cher. So I feel like Cher's words like prompted her to ask Mon if she would like to be married, which is of course not the right reason to like ask somebody to marry you. I mean, it wasn't quite a proposal, it was more like a kind of question, but is a question a proposal? I don't know. It wasn't the right time or the right place to be asking Mon that question. I felt like she really put Mon on the spot, and as a result, like Sam got her feelings hurt and felt embarrassed, because really this is quite like a serious like conversation between two people. And I feel like obviously like a lot of this scene is to create drama and move the story forward, so like I appreciate it for what it is, but realistically like they both would have had like a more serious conversation about this. Maybe. I mean, they're both quite young, but still. Mon's response was also really interesting because Mon clearly still has some like internal hang-ups about the kind of class difference between the two of them. And I understand why Sam kind of doesn't think it's a big deal, you know, like I get that, but I also understand why Mon thinks it is a big deal, because I think when you're raised in a system where there is class, when you are of a lower class, you are kind of like taught to associate that with like you being less than as a person. Like we're getting into like really deep territory now, but what I'm trying to say is like I understand why Mon feels that way, but I also understand why Sam is like hurt by her feeling that way, and they really kind of need to talk it out so Sam like understands why she feels that way, and she can like reassure her that like it's not a big issue, and actually class is just largely like we're not gonna turn this video into like a Marxist rant. We're just not. Okay. But anyway, I get why kind of like Sam stormed off, even though she sort of put herself in that position, you know, like Cher was really rude to Sam, and Sam obviously felt embarrassed and obviously felt kind of hurt, you know, she's very soft. So yeah, I understand why Sam walked away. And I think we're in for some really stormy weather in episode 10. Mon goes into battle with the final boss in episode 10. She does. So I think things are about to get very, very dicey. Very, very dicey. Oh, this video got deep. Wow. Okay. What a wild ride. What a wild ride episode 9 was from start to finish. Oh my god. Okay guys, if you've seen episode 9, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments section below. If you'd like to support lesbian content and women's voices, come and join the Suffolk Underground Club. Just come and join it. It just kind of works out like a monthly tip for the lesbianism, you know, that's it. And I appreciate it. If I had a hat, I would tip it, but I don't. Why should you? Well, don't be homophobic. There you go. Don't forget to subscribe for instant disappointment, and I'll see you guys soon.